got my back, I got hers now. Tailoring your life here with the gang. Sis got my back, I got hers.
So introducing our first Tailoring Your Life host is Michaela Roberson. All right. Now, you guys, did anybody measure themselves with a string?
Yeah.
Who will never walk into a building smaller than that piece of string now? Me. There you go. So introducing my girl, my main squeeze, Taylor Moore. Now, this next one is very special to me. She was locked in or locked out. Did you guys enjoy that? Yeah. You guys don't think she thinks she's a rapper now? Was she rapping? Yeah. All right. I heard she even started doing the Lincoln Stomp with y'all. But this one has really made me proud. And not that these guys have not made me proud. Like, they are committed. But with this one, when I tell you the reason why the Lord gave her the word committed is because she was struggling. But what she decided, she made a decision, and she decided that I'm no longer going to allow tragedy, my past, my trauma, my addictions, bad friends, or anything to keep me from where I'm supposed to be headed. So, my main girl, Azora Henderson!
I should have came out to the song.
What's going on, everyone? How you guys feeling?
Good.
We are almost at the stretch, so thank y'all so much for everyone that is still here. And welcome to the not tailoring shop, not the tailor shops, but the Tailoring Your Life Podcast. So welcome. I like the ooh, thank you. That was very innovative. But as Tiffany said, us three, this time last year, we did not know each other, maybe over Instagram, but by truly the divine power of the Lord, all three of us came together and are now hooked at the hip under the wonderful leadership of Tiffany Terry Thomas. And so here we are live in trio. So we are actually going to dive into what tailoring your life actually means and looks like. For those who entered our breakout session and talk about tailoring your life, that string and talking about all these different steps. So that's what we're going to do today. But before we get started, ladies, you guys have any beginning words for the group? Get ready.
We ready?
Okay, so when we talk about when we talk about the tailoring process, there's a few steps, and we'll get into each of those. But just preface, tailoring happens to all of us, no matter the age, no matter the experience, no matter the role. Even sitting up here is tailoring in a way. It is removing the pride, it is removing the anxiety. And it's expanding the courage. So just know that when we say tailoring your life, it is not a one and done. It is not an overnight sensation. It is a constant lifestyle that happens over and over and over again. And so before we talk about like the final product or the beautiful dress or the uniform or whatever outfit that we want to tailor, it first begins with a vision or having the end in mind. And most times that requires confronting the unknown. You don't know what you want until you decide what you want. You never go into a tailor shop saying, you know what, just make anything you want. They'll ask you, what do you want? What does the end look like for you? And so that means creating a vision. In high school, the only vision I had was graduating. That's all I got. I just want to graduate. I just want to finish. I just want to get out of my parents' house. I just want to finish. And so that's the vision. But once you get there, the next question is where you want to go from here. It is not a point A to point B. It is a point A to Z. Let's plan this thing out. And truly a desire of yours, not one that people give to you, but one that you must take time to create for yourself. So a vision that I had for myself before Tailoring Your Life came was wanting to be a woman that was secure in who I am, not just an athlete. As I mentioned before, I played basketball in high school, and all I knew was just being an athlete. Nothing more than that, and of course a daughter, the most I got. But other than that, all I knew was athletics. Because I wanted to know more about myself. What do I like? What don't I like? And the people that I've been used to are leaving me, so I can't depend on them to create it for me. And that is scary, going into the unknown. So for you too, when it comes to vision and creating what the end or what better looks like, what was that moment for you?
I think for me, from high school and even a very young age, I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to make it through various things. And I think for me, getting a vision came a little bit later on in life after I graduated high school. I just kind of went on with like the mundane circles of life, just work, life, friends, all that. And I think it came to a point last year where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is not my forte. I know I have so many talents, I know I have so many gifts, I know I have so many things inside of me, and I need to unlock that, right? And so eventually I got connected with the right people, them, Tiffany, are the people that we work with, and it changed and ignited something in me. And I was like, wow, like, I can actually do something bigger than what I thought I could. And I think part of me, in that survival process, I had dealt with so much disappointment. I didn't want to create goals or hopes or get to something because I'm like, well, if I fail, that's gonna suck. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. So I'd rather just be average, just be this person. And being around the community that I'm at, they have called me so much higher than that and called those things out of me where I don't really have a choice to do it anymore. If I go backwards, they're gonna be like, okay, get it together, you know? And that really helped me gain a better vision for my life. And I actually have, I think, so much does my vision continue to expand because of the people that I'm around and the things that they do to help me achieve my goals. So
that was so good. And I want to say for me, I didn't have vision until I met people that see me for who I was supposed to be. It reminds me of my dad when I was growing up, and he used to be like, babe, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I don't know. He'd be like, you need to learn. And I'm like, I don't know. And for me, it was because the vision I was having was like, let's kick it. I'm trying to kick it with my friends. If you was in my class, you know, commitment was my thing. So I was committed to the friendships that I had. And so being introduced to Tiffany, being introduced to the Lord and taking those blinders off of me and having a strong commitment that's like, oh, I see purpose here. I see that you can do this. I see who you are. It was what brought vision to me, and now I'm praying on it. Now I can see the vision. But it took somebody to show me who I was before I could actually envision something.
So good. If you've all ever heard, like, what's your why? You're committed. What's your why? Your why creates the vision, not just a picture on Pinterest, on Instagram. My vision ain't I want to live in a high top, skyscraper apartment. That could be part of the vision, but again, it's not strong enough to make you committed through the times where your vision is not showing up. I'm actually failing. I'm actually struggling at this. People are leaving me. I don't have financial resources to make this happen. So is my vision actually strong enough, vivid enough to actually endure? There's a few steps to actually creating vision. We call it the 5 steps to clarity, because there's no vision if you can't see. Those who have contacts, it's a struggle without the contacts or glasses. So we have to ask, what do I want? Why do I want it? How will I do it? But being flexible in case that there comes trouble, because reality check, there will be trouble. What are the benefits of having it? So what are the beautiful parts? If I have this, my family prospers. If I have this, I'm in great health. If I have this, X, Y, or Z. And what happens if I don't do it? If the cost of not doing it is greater than why you want to do it, it changes your urgency. So that's when we talk about vision. So asking yourself, what do I want and why do I want it? Ask that about 5 times, and then I'm pretty sure you'll be convinced.
Hello? I love that you just said that, because following right after vision comes removal. When you get vision of who you're supposed to be, what you're called to be, then there comes that removal, because then God opens up this door, and everything that was in this first door, now it's like, I'm about to shut you out. And that was so crushing for me. I lost so much. I lost friendships. I'm from Washington originally. I went to Texas not even thinking I was going to move there. I came there with a suitcase with winter clothes to Texas, okay? And God said, this is where you're going to be planted, because I'm about to change your life. I'm a recovered addict, And I used to be into the drinking and the smoking every day. That was my life. And God said, no, I'm going to turn you around. But I had to let that go. And I was crushing because it's like, well, now I'm sad today. How do I get over this? Now I got to press in on him. And then you go through the removal of friends. For like our group, what we were saying is those friends that you watched me fail and didn't ask me if I was okay. You didn't ask me how can I help you to get there. I got them in my life. This girl, she'll sit on the phone with me and be like, you're gonna read this book because you need this in your life. Get this education. Okay. But that came with me shutting the door on something that was no longer working for me. And so I want you to know that when you get your vision and then you start praying on it, then there's this big removal. And it's the little things that you didn't think is the closest people to you that are like, I thought they loved me. Why is this being removed? The clothes. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Why we gotta remove these? We're in Texas. I need a t-shirt. And those are the things that God is like, but I'm trying to do something new in you. And are you ready to be fitted for a new outfit? It's kind of like when you go from winter and summer. Are you gonna go in summer wearing a big old trench, or what you guys are wearing right now? No. You need a new outfit. And so there's seasons. And that was a vision. You already know that summer is coming, so you have to be ready for that.
I think for me, when it came to removal, I had a lot of people that supported me. I had a lot of things going on, but I didn't have the right support. And I also needed to separate from distraction, right? I have my own business. There's a lot of things that come with that, right? But at the end of the day, when you're distracted, you can't handle business the way that you had. And so I had to go through this season where I was slowly being separated from people in my life that were causing distraction. And the benefit to that was I was able to put my focus into things that were important. Like I was able to work on my health, right? I was able to read books. Like I didn't have time to do that before, right? I remember there was a time I was like watching TV all the time, and I remember God was like, you're done watching TV. I was like, I'm trying to coffee, okay? And it actually was a blessing, right? My mind had more space to do things. I was able to expand my business, spend more time focusing on that and doing the things that I love, right? And it was lonely, right? Like I'm working all day, I'm working by myself, but I'm working on myself. And I have to remind myself that. Like we always want to be doing things with other people, but sometimes that's not what we always need. And so I think that was really the removal process for me, was becoming comfortable with just working on me and doing me. And I've been blessed through all of that. I've been doing things that I would never have imagined because I was able to have a quantum leap in those moments. So yeah.
Can I ask, is it easier for people to remove themselves versus you having to remove them? It is. I would rather people leave me than me have to leave people. Or I would rather someone make the choice for me than me make the choice for myself. So when it comes to seniors, juniors, whatever, when it comes to your grades and you know there may not be the best influence, as I said in the breakout session, good is just good, but is it great? Where you're going is great, so good won't cut it. But will you cut it from them? And it may not be complete isolation or complete change, but just enough where the change is noticeable. So if you have something, if it's a friend who's not taking you down, but is also not moving you forward, remove yourself. If it is an activity that you know that's not healthy for you, then remove yourself. Athletes, remove that stuff from your diet. You know it ain't good. You know that stuff start getting tight. Adjust. So I think for the removal process, it's much more of a definitive and decisive action versus allowing someone to ghost you. It's not about ghost, it's being mature enough to decide this no longer fits, so I will remove it for myself.
And before we move on, I also want to say, you'll also have to remove things off of yourself. It's not always the people around you. You can have some things on you that God's like, shake this off. You can have pride on you. The pride. The pride. Push the P. The feeling like you know better and you don't need nobody to tell you nothing because that pride is there like, oh, I got it. Then you failed. And now you're mad at yourself because you were so prideful. So sometimes it's not even just about what's around you, it's within you. Your heart posture is what needs to be removed sometimes.
Yeah. And so after the removal process, we go into expansion and refitting, right? And I went through this season last year in my life, and it was so pivotal for me. Have y'all ever put on an outfit and you're like, I don't think this fits me, this ain't right. Girl, right? And so that was me all last year. I was like, okay, I've been this person, right? When I was in high school, I was the kid that skipped class. I was in rehab. I was moved schools, right? I ended up graduating a year early because I was like, I'm sick of this, all right? I'm gonna do what I need to do so I can get out of here, right? And then I moved into a whole other lifestyle. I was a drug addict. I was a drug dealer. At one point, they called me Big Meat. Okay. Right? And so then I'm like stepping out of that and I'm becoming a business owner. And I've had my business for 4 years now, but I did not feel like I fit that. I just did it because we were back in that survival mode, right? And so I had to come to a point where I was like, okay, God, I know you're wanting to do something in me. You're wanting me to be an example, right? Because so many people knew me as that person. And I felt like I cannot truly be who I feel like you've called me to be because I'm stuck here, right? And so I had to accept the refitting. And that was really, really hard for me for a very long time. I was like, I just don't think so. Like, what if someone brings that up? Or what, like, thinking about all the trauma that had happened during that time, right? And so, over this past year, I've had to do a lot of inner work, okay, to accept the clothes. And I had a branding shoot, right? And I had a stylist. And she's picking out all these clothes for me. And I'm just like, I'm just not feeling it. It's not me. No, I want you to trust me. It's gonna look good. Every single fit she picked out, I was like, yo, I would have never thought that this would be a fit for me. And in that moment, I heard God saying, like, this is how you treat yourself. Every door that I open for you, everything that I'm having you step into, you're acting like it don't fit you when I created you for this. And I was just like, oh, wow, I'm a little ungrateful, bless it. But and now that I'm here, I'm able to embrace everything that he's putting on me, whether it's a piece of jewelry, a coat, pants, I'm able to accept the refitting, so.
Refitting is a lot of like change. In the last group, I said the only guarantee with change is loss. There's no guarantee of gain. You just know that I'm losing something when it comes to change. When it comes to refitting, the refitting in essence is like we're changing what you thought was good. So we did all this work, we went through all the processes, we gotta refit the whole thing. I'd rather hold on to something even if it doesn't fit me anymore, but because of the work I put into it, I got interest in that. So I'm gonna hold on to that so I don't lose because I'm not for sure what I'm going to gain. So I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm afraid to take risks. I'm afraid of being vulnerable in the risk of losing something, or whatever that loss may be. So when it comes to refitting, again, I like to use these pillars. Seniors, you are going through a refitting when you graduate. College is nothing like high school at all. Freshmen, middle school was nothing like high school. And even in between sophomore, junior year, as I said, junior year was my favorite year, but it was nothing like the others. So no matter what, you're always going through refitting and asking yourself the question, am I willing to change even if that means losing something that used to benefit me, but now it's not because it's bad, it's just because it no longer fits.
And you know what it reminds me of? Does anybody have that one parent that tries to style them and they'll pick out your outfit and you're like, Mom,
a fuchsia pink turtleneck in the spring.
No, I'm sorry, Mom, but she used to get me these little dresses with the floral print on it, with the leggings that had the lace bottoms. Honey, with the flats? Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever went through that where you're like, yeah, no, I'm not wearing this? Could you imagine you look so beautiful in that? And that's what it feels like sometimes when God is dressing you, because it's like, no, I want it to be a little bit more revealing than this. And you made me fully clothed. Nothing is showing. That's a different type of refitting. And even to break it out of the outfits, your life. I used to be and I'm still working through my pride, y'all. Let me not sit up here and act like I'm perfect. But I was that person, like, you don't gotta tell me nothing and don't tell me nothing. I'm gonna learn my lesson. And I learned my lesson. Now we take the wise counsel. But I say that to say that refitting had to happen. Even our first recording for our podcast, y'all, the fit was not fitting. And glory to God that he graced us through that. But now I'm in the process still, and it'll never end, that I'm being refitted because I want change. I want to look different, and I want God to dress me and clothe me in the correct outfit, because I'd rather look beautiful than try to put something on and it don't even look right on me. And it's okay, Mama, I'll let you Dress me in the floral outfit now.
By the way, her mom's over there, so that's funny. I also don't want to miss the expansion. The expansion part is important because expansion requires coming out of your comfort zone and desiring greater. Do not be afraid for desiring something greater than your friends. Do not be afraid to desire something that the other people around you, family, friends, even yourself, do not be afraid to expand what you want just because you've never seen it. Because I've never seen someone either go to college, I don't want to structure myself and go to college because that doesn't feel right, but you want it. I don't see, X, Y, or Z. I don't see the business owner. I don't see the doctor. I don't see the lawyer, but I want that. And expanding is stretching. And so I just encourage each of you, whatever that dream is, that future. I ask a lot of the girls, 3 or 4 months from now, what do you want? What does that look like? That is expanding because you have to actually verbalize what you want. Do not be ashamed of that.
Well, it's like super uncomfortable as well. Like expanding, changing. I think for me, like all my friends have been my friends for like 10 years. I was like, I don't want, like, I'm committed to them. We locked in. And in reality, it was actually hurting me. Right? And so when God was calling me to do different things, I actually had to like distance myself. It's not always hit the block button, and sometimes it's just maybe unfollow or just don't respond, But I had to accept that this no longer fits me, the person I'm becoming, right? If you are the smartest one of your friends, you are probably in the wrong friend group, okay? And I felt like that a lot of the time. I felt very disconnected from my relationships. I was never challenged, none of those things. And so I went through a point where I was called away from my friends, and that was really, really hard. I was going through a lot of other transitions. But what the beauty in that was there was amazing friendships on the other side of that, where I now am challenged, I'm called out, I'm supported ways that I've never had before, right? And we also get to grow together. And so, and the beauty also is that they had gone before me. I'm the youngest one of them, so the baby. And I get to see what a good example looks like versus having to always be the example for the people around me. And so that was really a blessing in my expansion part of just my story too.
And now I feel like that was a shot because we're not old. You're just younger than us, baby. I'm always coming for Deeperoo. I'm the baby now. Wait a second. No. Okay. But what I will say is expansion is hard. It is a struggle. And I love that you just said that because something that I have to realize is you will be stretched in your expansion. You'll start doing things that you're like, you're adding on another comma? We said we was only going to do one thing. Now he's like, up next. And you're going to do it at the same time. And something that you have to realize while you're talking about like letting go of people and, putting yourself around other people. When I was locked into those other friends, we stayed at that same place. And mind you, these friends are like 13 years of friendship, and we never changed. We're the exact same people for 13 years. I got around them. We've been friends for a year now. Quantum leaps. I have not stayed the same. I think the first week I was already like, glory, I'm changed.
Can you define what a quantum leap is?
Quantum leap means, I was kind of defining it in my groups too. Quantum leap means when you move in advance faster than usual. So like, for example, like you were saying, you graduated early, quantum leap, because usually you graduate at 18 years old and you, 17, 16? Yeah,
I graduated 17.
Okay, quantum leap. That just means you got somewhere faster, maybe because you had wise counsel, you had somebody before you to guide you through that, to cut the time in half for you. And so that's what this friendship looks like. They're very freeing. They're very much like, let's run, and we're running together and you're not alone. Rather than, let me trap you in this because I'm not ready to move forward, so let's just stay in this. Let's stay in addiction. Let's stay into being an alcoholic. Let's stay into being prideful. Let's stay into the laziness. And they're like, you're going to break out of laziness. We're going to move. You're going to get better. And we're going to be sober. That's
we never just kick it.
We never just... What?
It's never just chilling.
Ever. Which is a blessing.
And the final part that everyone absolutely loves, which is the final product. Everyone loves the ending, but never willing to do the work to actually get to the end. And I'm going to say right now, we at the end, and y'all, wake up! Hey, wakey, beautiful ladies. Because I can tell you right now, there's a few that will catch the blessings y'all are receiving right now. And those of you who don't, you don't. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, the final product is only for those who are willing to work for it. And this is working.
Actually, all of you that got your head down, go ahead and stand up real quick so we can get some energy in you.
Are we dancing?
Yes.
Are we locked in?
Teach me.
Are we locked in? Step this way. Step that way. No, you're sitting down. We're up.
I was gonna stand up.
Come on. Let's get up because we got a new power. And we need to make sure we're ready to receive whatever they're about to plant in you guys. Take the sips.
I know y'all have to pull on that.
Right. We've been here for a long time and we are so proud of you guys. We are so thankful that you came. You need to stay up.
You still got a little bit left to go.
A little bit.
But you do have to teach me that dance. I am almost, so I'm learning today.
Wait, we just step.
So it's like window wipers. That's what you do.
I know, but no. One of the seniors had me doing that. Teach me something. Y'all gotta get energized.
You gonna rap for us?
Put the beat on it.
You know I'm beat that
But we're about to welcome the next group. I want us to stay standing up. The reason about the final product, everyone wants to step on stage to show what the finished product looked like. So I want you to see all of this. But no one can see when you're sitting down. So when you stand up, you're proud. You are proud. So be proud of what you guys won, not just did today, but be proud of what you're wearing right now. Because I can tell y'all, those who walked in this morning, bright and early, rainy, it was a little bit gray. The sun out now, bless it. But you guys are walking out different. And it's nothing by what we said that was so magical. Not at all. Again, I told the groups, you can Google this stuff. It's not the rocket science. However, it does take commitment. So the final product is actually, it's not a fantasy, it's not a myth, but it is an ongoing. You are never finished. You are never final. High school will be finished, but then there comes college. And we call it where you are creating your walk-in closet because we're done with the closed door closet. I want to walk into my closet. Okay, so I want to walk into my closet and see all of the outfits that I have curated, that I have created, and how much hard work it took to do that. So what you guys are doing today is hard work.
It's part of that refitting.
It's part of that refitting. Don't squander it by allowing it to go to the wayside tomorrow or go back into your school on Monday.
And I just want to speak to the ones that are sitting down but didn't want to get up. That was you. I didn't care what anybody had to say. I didn't really feel moved by what anybody had to say. I had to seep and reap what I sowed. And when I say that is I had to sit in every bad decision I made because I didn't want to be better. I didn't want to take on wise counsel and do something better with myself. So I want you to know that I was that person, but I will say, I want to let you know that you can also change. There's never too late, so it's not wrong that you're sitting down. There's nothing worse about you than anybody that's standing up. It's just not your time.
Those who are found in Christ Jesus.
Hallelujah. Sorry. No, that was all I was saying. That you'll have a time, and you'll want to get up, and you'll want to move and step and walk into who you're supposed to be.
You want to close this out? Snatch.
I was just going to say, and I think also it just comes to being tired. There's a lot in that process of life and changing and having to manage different outfits, right? I wear like 4 different outfits a day. And that can be exhausting at times, but tired does not mean that I'm done, right? And there's ways that you can fight that. And I think I remember in high school, I was older, so I graduated a year early. I said, I'm done with this. I don't want to see y'all anymore, okay? I would rather be by myself. But at the end of the day, right, as I went through those and then I went through growing up and becoming an adult, it does not get easier. The pressure doesn't get lighter. The responsibilities only grow. And I think understanding, even though I'm tired, maybe I want to go home, I want to give up, I'm over this, we have to still push through to the end. And that's part of striving for that final product, right? Is that it's an ongoing race. It's an ongoing process. And so I just want to encourage you guys because I be tired, for real. It is not easy. I am tired right now. I said, I want to take a nap when I get off this stage, for real. But I'm not going to because I know that I've committed to this whole day, right?
Yeah. The trials don't get easier, but we get stronger. So we hope that this podcast has equipped, empowered, and encouraged you to tailor your life in accordance to your God-given purpose, one episode at a time. Bless it!
Sis got my back, I got hers now. Tailoring your life here with the gang.